DreAllDay.com.
What's going on, everybody? Dre Baldwin. Y'all don't know who I am, you will know. I take people from where they are to becoming mental game professionals. And what I'm going to do in these videos, I call this the daily game. This is something I've been sending out as an email. I'm going to see how it goes as a video. People are responding to this, they like it, then I'll keep doing it. People ain't really messing with it, then I'm not going to keep doing it. So we'll see how it goes. But today's mental game is a lesson that I learned from Jay-Z. And everybody knows Jay-Z. To me, Jay-Z, some of y'all may know him as Beyonce's husband. Jay-Z is a rapper. And to me, he's the greatest rapper of all time. I grew up in that era. I grew up in the 90s was my coming of age era. And that's when Jay-Z was the guy, in the early 2000s when he was the guy. Nowadays, some people see him as an older guy, but whatever. But the lesson I want to talk to you about today is not about how good a rapper he is, but about making a decision to go to the higher level. See, when Jay-Z first came out, his first album, Reasonable Doubt, a lot of people didn't even know about that album. I didn't know about it when it first came out. I mean, I heard of Jay-Z, I knew about his main hit record that he had with Foxy Brown, but people weren't really talking about Jay-Z. I mean, it was an okay song. People say he's a pretty good rapper, but there were a lot of good rappers. And even though his album was kind of overlooked because there was a lot of other rappers dominating the scene at the time, it was critically acclaimed, his first album. People said this guy's pretty good. Now, his second album, that album I don't think was good as his first, and a lot of people said the same thing. Critically, they said the album is solid, but it's a step backwards from where he was on his first album. And around that time of Jay-Z's second album, which was called In My Lifetime Volume 1, the music scene was dominated by this guy named Puff Daddy and his Bad Boy family. So everybody was, if you weren't doing music like Bad Boy, which was the dancing, the shiny suits, and the whole Bad Boy sound that Puff Daddy dominated, and Jay-Z tried to make a few records like that weren't very good records, or records that they might not have been bad, but they sounded too much like Puff Daddy, and he couldn't be Puff better than Puff. If you didn't sound like him back then, Puff Daddy, your record just wasn't going to be that popular, and that's what happened with Jay-Z. Now, in 1997, Puff Daddy went on a tour. He called this tour No Way Out. The tour was based on, it was titled after Puff Daddy's album, which was, I think, 8 or 10 times platinum, because he dominated music in that time, 1997, all basically through the late 1990s. Jay-Z was an opening act on that tour. A lot of people don't know this. He was an opening act on Puff Daddy's tour. And after the first few dates of the tour, Jay-Z had a conversation with Puff, and he told him that he was going to leave the tour. He didn't want to do it anymore. There was no bad blood between him and Puff, but he needed to move on and do something else. And when Jay-Z was interviewed, someone asked him, though, what was it that caused you to leave the tour? Jay-Z said, I felt like I was just selling myself short. And someone asked, the same person asked, well, what are you going to do now? You left the tour, what are you going to do? And one of the things he said he was going to do was get into the office. He said, I'm going to get into that office and I'm going to start building a company, because the way that these record labels are treating rap artists and not building their careers properly, I'm going to do it the right way and show them how to run a company and build on hip-hop artists. And the other thing he was going to do was get into that studio and make his next album. And his third album was called In My Lifetime Volume 2, or for short it was just called Volume 2, Hard Knock Life. Now that album came out in 1998, and for those of you who don't know your history back then in hip-hop, Jay-Z came out and that album just dominated. It blew everything away. It was driven by the title track, which was called Hard Knock Life. It used a sample from the Annie soundtrack. Everybody knows that song. And that album, what people gotta understand is, it sold 5 million copies, and that album took Jay-Z from being a rap star to a music pop culture superstar when he made that album. And the reason that I'm talking about that is this. Jay-Z made a decision at that point to go from where he was to where he wanted to be. And that's the daily game that I'm giving you today. And I want to give you 3 takeaways. Every time I give you the daily game, I'm going to give you some takeaways that you can take with you to make it make sense for you. Number 1, having game, having talent, having skills, resources, working hard, timing, all of those things alone, or any of those, a combination of those put together, all of those can make you good. They can make you really good. They can make you appreciated. They can even make you money. But then none of these things will take you to the next level. Whatever that next level is for you, the only way you can get to that next level is when you make a decision that you're going to that next level. And yes, it is as simple as making a decision to do it. Just being good alone is not going to take you to the next level. Have you ever known somebody who was really good at what they did, but they seemed to, it just felt like it was a little bit more they could do and they never quite got there? That's what the decision is. Decision is that last little bit that takes you from great to unbelievable. It takes you from really good to outstanding. And again, you have to make the decision to go there. It's not something that's just going to happen no matter how hard you work or how much game you have. Number two, understand it is impossible to make that decision to go to the next level if you are overwhelmed or you are preoccupied thinking about how your past has been underwhelming, how things haven't gone the right way before, how nobody else did it, how you're not sure how people are going to respond to it, you don't know if people are going to really take you seriously. If your thoughts are dominated by weakness and fear and anxiety and how it might not work and how all of this might just be a complete waste of time and how nothing's ever worked out for you in the past, if your thoughts are dominated by that, what kind of results do you really expect to get in your life? I wouldn't expect that you would expect to get much of a result at that point. You need to bring your thoughts to a higher level, knowing that it's possible for you to go to that level, first of all, then making the decision that you're actually going to get there. If you need help with that, I got a course called ASAP Confidence that'll help you with it. You can get that at dreallday.com/ASAP, ASAP, 30-day course on confidence. And number three thing, here's the best news about everything that I've said so far. Your current situation, whether you have been super successful, whether you've been very average, maybe you've done absolutely nothing in your life to this point, none of your current situation has any effect on whether or not you can take things to the next level. If you're going to take things to the next level or if you're not, is all determined by one thing. And it's one word, it starts with a D. No, it's not Dre all day. It is decision. The decision that you are going to make to take things to where you are going to take them. How far do you want to go? How far do you believe you can take things? And when are you going to make the decision to start getting there? Again, this is a choice that you make. It is not something that happens to you. It is not something you need to acquire. It is not about where you're from, who you are, your race, your gender, your ethnicity, your height, your color, your work background, your experience, none of that. It's all about the decision that you make, the choice that you make to take things to the next level. That's your daily game. My name is Dre Baldwin, also known as Dre All Day. Y'all should know that. My company is, as you can see, Work on Your Game. It is all about turning business professionals, athletes, and everybody else into mental game pros. If you want to become that, I'm the person you need to stick to. I'm the person you need to stay close to, and that's what it is. Work on your game. DreAllDay.com.